How is the bank, I should say, founded by the BRICS different to the rest of the other banks out there? Our very own Owen Fairclough explores this.
There was a time when the complicated world of global finance was just a little bit simpler. The International Monetary Fund here in Washington was generally the lender for developed countries who ran into trouble. And the World Bank right next door helped out the world's poorest countries. Today, the banking landscape is very crowded, and so are the abbreviations. You have the IDB for Latin American countries, the ADB for Asia, and throw in an F, and you also have a bank for Africa. That's a real jumble of global banking names. And in the mix are two very important new kids on the block, the new development bank BRICS and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So what's different about these two? First, the bank for the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa.
As a multilateral development bank initiated and established by the emerging markets, the new development bank will focus more on the needs of developing countries, respect their national conditions, and better represent developing countries' ideas.
The keywords there, emerging and better representing. Between them, these five represent more than 40% of the world's population, a quarter of its land mass, and a quarter of its economic output. The BRICS Bank will work with another new China-led counterpart, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. With its 57 members, the AIIB will also invest in projects that aren't on the IMF and World Bank's radar, particularly in remote parts of Central Asia. And the BRICS Bank and the AIIB have another thing in common. The US, whose dollar is the world's reserve currency, isn't a member of either of them. China and its emerging partners have in the past complained that their collective size isn't proportionately represented in an established banking order dominated by the US. But the BRICS Bank was more diplomatic at its launch.
Our objective is not to challenge any of the existing system as it is, but to improve and complement the system in our own way.
And financially, the new players don't have the same muscle as the old guard. Between them, the IMF and World Bank have nearly $900 billion of capital. That's about 9 times the capital of the BRICS Bank and AIIB. But the BRICS plan to double their bank's capital within a few years and expand membership, a reminder that the global economic order is changing quickly. Owen Fairclough, CCTV, Washington.